Hey, it's Chris here, and today we're going to explore the benefits of using a mortgage broker for your next mortgage transaction. Options. So, when you work with your bank, you only have access to what the bank offers you. When you work with a mortgage broker, as you can see, you have access to multiple lenders, including banks, non bank lenders, credit unions, and private lenders. So, below is only a snapshot of what you have access to through a mortgage broker. Brokers can be great for finding the cheapest rate or best product for purchase, refinance, and renewal. So basically, a mortgage broker's job is to shop around for you so you don't have to go to 10 banks to look for a mortgage. Mortgage brokers will find you the best rate and the best product for your needs. No fee switch. So in other words, when it's time to renew, sometimes your bank will not, or bank or lender will not give you the best renewal rate. So you're going to want to maybe switch lenders. And when you work with a mortgage broker, they have access to many lenders that will pay for your legal cost in order to switch lenders on renewal. Increased loan amounts. So when you go to your bank, sometimes you won't necessarily get the mortgage approval amount that you're looking for. If you go to a mortgage broker, the broker has special lenders that can approve you with a higher loan amount. Sometimes the rates are a little bit higher, but they're still very decent, and they will get you that property you want. You may have to put 20% down payment to access this. However, it is an option for you. Self-employed clients. If you're self-employed, it's never easy getting a mortgage. The banks will go by what you declare to CRA. And if that is not enough, then the broker has different options by using just your bank statements, so deposits in your bank account, and they can basically redo the expenses in order to boost your income and get you approved for a higher loan amount. Rental investors. So if you're a rental investor, it's getting a lot harder now to get approved with a bank. Most banks have a cap of how many properties you can have on a portfolio. Sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 4, 5, and after that, it's basically impossible to get approved for residential. And another thing too is the banks typically only use 50% of rental income. Some of them use a little bit more, but not enough to get you approved in a lot of cases. If you go to a mortgage broker, the mortgage broker does have access to lenders that will use more rental income, and also lenders that don't necessarily have a cap of how many properties you can have on a portfolio. New to Canada. So if you're new to Canada and you have a valid work permit, mortgage brokers can get you a mortgage, even if you don't have any credit history. Sometimes the lenders will ask for bank statements to show utility payments or rental payments, but there are options if you're new to Canada. Low credit score. So if you have bad credit or low credit, you're going to have a very hard time getting approved with a bank. With a mortgage broker, there are options to get approved, even if you have bad credit. Most of the time you're going to need at least 20% down payment or 20% equity for refinance. However, bad credit will not be an issue for you. Debt consolidation. So one thing that a broker can be great for is if you have lots of debt, the broker can refinance your first mortgage or even maybe possibly put a second mortgage in order to consolidate your debt. And even if you have bad credit, there are options to get an approval and consolidate that debt, and then your credit will actually get better. And then after that, let's say we have to get you a private deal in order to do that. Sometimes the rates are a little bit higher, but once your credit goes up, then we can refinance you and go back to a bank or a cheaper lender. Second mortgages. So a second mortgage is a mortgage that is usually only accessible through a broker. And you would use that a second mortgage when usually your first mortgage is locked up. You don't want to touch it because you might get a big penalty, or maybe your credit is too weak and you can't refinance your first mortgage. So then you would put a second mortgage, and that could be used for many stuff, many things such as renovations or debt consolidation, or whatever you need the money for. Reverse mortgages, the chip mortgage. So mortgage brokers do have access to the chip mortgage. They can offer that for you. It's great if you're 55 years and up and you don't make a lot of income anymore and you want to have access to your equity and you don't want to make any mortgage payments. Then the chip mortgage is a great option that a mortgage broker can get for you. Okay, so we went through the options. Now let's go through the mortgage features, or some of the mortgage features that you will have access with a broker. So amortizations up to 30 years. Now keep in mind, non-traditional sources, private lenders can go up to 35. Some of them go up to 50 years. But if we're using the traditional banks, credit unions, it's 30 years max until the government changes the rules, but for now it's 30 years. Payment frequencies offered: weekly, bi-weekly, accelerated weekly or bi-weekly, semi-monthly or monthly. Now it's not all lenders that will offer all these frequencies. However, there are many lenders that will offer these. So prepayment, lump sum, increased payments, double up. So working with a broker, you'll have access to lenders that will offer these prepayment features. So this will help you pay the mortgage down faster. So even if you have like a 25-year amortization or 30-year amortization, you can actually lower that. You can pay it down faster using these features, and you will not be penalized as long as you follow, the maximum prepayment. So lump sum, some lenders will let you pay down up to 15 or 20% of the original balance every year in one or multiple lump sums. So in other words, if your mortgage is $100,000, you're able to pay it down by 15 or 20,000 every year, not getting any penalties. And you can also increase your payments by 15 or 20% a year. And then some lenders even offer double up. So in other words, you can match your regular payment on any payment date, which will help you pay the mortgage down faster. Bridge loans. So when working with a broker, if you are selling your house and the sale only closes after the purchase, then you will most likely need a bridge loan to cover the down payment. And many of our lenders do offer bridge loans. Portability. So many lenders in the broker space do offer portability. So what that means is if you decide to sell your house and move, you can actually bring the mortgage with you. Now, keep in mind, credit unions are usually not recommended if you're going to move, especially to a different province, because most credit unions will only lend in the same province. Open terms. So many lenders in the broker space will offer open term. And what that means is if you plan on getting rid of this mortgage in the near future, then you might want an open term instead of a closed term. That way you will not be dinged with a heavy penalty when you break your mortgage. Corporate registration. So if you're an investor and you're buying a property and you want to register it in corporation, brokers do have access to lenders that will do that. There's some on the A side, like I think Scotiabank will do that. And there are lenders on the B side that will do that. So there are options to register a property or a mortgage under a corporation. HELOCs. So if you want to put a line of credit on your house, then a mortgage broker is definitely able to offer you a line of credit. It's not all lenders that will offer a line of credit, but there are many of them that will offer a line of credit. Registration options. Standard charge and collateral charge. So what is a standard charge or collateral charge? Most people don't know this, but the big bank will often register your mortgage pretty much all the time now in a collateral charge. And what this does, it will help you in some ways and harm you in others. It will let you in the future put a line of credit or put maybe a second mortgage. It will allow you to access your home equity if you want to, do renovations or something. And this will be done fairly easily without going through a lawyer and paying legal costs to do like a refinance, they can simply add a charge to your mortgage. Now, they will probably have to check your credit score again and maybe re-verify your income. So it might not always even be available to you, but it is an option. It could be an option in the future. Now, the bad thing is with the collateral charges, if you're looking to switch lenders on renewal, let's say your bank or credit union doesn't offer you a very good rate on a renewal, you might want to switch lenders. And not all lenders will allow a switch from a collateral mortgage. And the ones that don't allow it, you're going to have to, if you want to go there, you're going to have to actually refinance. And the rates are higher on a refinance. And it's going to cost you money to pay for a lawyer to do that. So you're a little bit more tied down on renewal. So when you go to a mortgage broker, the mortgage broker has access to lenders that offer both standard charge and collateral charge. So if you don't want that collateral charge, there are lenders that offer the old-fashioned way of registering a mortgage, and this will give you the ultimate flexibility on renewal to go wherever you want. And in most cases, the legal cost will even be paid, so it won't cost you anything to change lenders on renewal. So it's better to have more options than none. So we're almost done here. We're just going to go through the customer service aspect of working with a broker. So brokers offer quick pre-approvals with full document review. So when you work with your bank, or if you go online, more often than not, all you're going to get is a pre-qualification. What that means is your documents are not going to get reviewed. Sometimes your credit is not even going to get reviewed. Your pre-approval is just going to be based on the data that you give. So it's a little bit more risky because you're not going to be as prepared when you go buy a house. If you use a mortgage broker, a good mortgage broker should collect all your documents up front, check your credit to make sure that you can actually afford this house, and you get proper guidance, on what you can afford. That way you don't waste your time when you go shop for a house, and you are ready to pull the trigger when you have an accepted offer. Approvals within 24 hours. Now, working with your bank, sometimes you can get approved quickly, but usually it takes some time. It could take 1 week, it could take 2 weeks. It takes time getting an approval done from the bank. If you go to a mortgage broker, as long as the application is done, the credit is checked, and the documents are submitted, the broker should be able to get you an approval within 24 hours. Now, it depends how busy the banks are and the lenders are. But I've seen approvals done even less than 24 hours, like 2-3 hours, and the approval is in. So the brokers are typically much faster than the banks. Flexible hours. So the mortgage broker does have flexibility when it comes to work hours. If you're in a rush and you want to go put an offer on a house on a Saturday and you don't have a pre-approval done yet, you're still waiting on that bank appointment. The mortgage broker, usually they should be able to accommodate you, let's say Friday night or Friday afternoon or even on the weekend. They can quickly check your file, do a quick pre-approval, and let you know if you can go and buy that house. So the mortgage broker is an expert, but they also have other experts for you, such as realtors, appraisers, lawyers, and inspectors. So the broker will save you time from not only shopping for a mortgage, but also shopping for all the experts that you need to get your transaction completed. So that's it. I hope this was valuable. If you need help with a mortgage in Canada, then my contact details is in the description, or you can visit swiftbrokers.ca. If you liked the video, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching, and until next time.